Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming with more Endzone, A World Apart. If my timing is correct, it is now April 2nd, which means this game should be going into early access on Steam. Don't forget to take a look at the description down below. Not a sponsor, just bringing it up for those who might be interested in this game. Alright, so we have a few people who caught disease just as I was ending the last video, which sucks royally, but okay. We've got plenty of pharmaceuticals, all the herbs I could really ever want. Plus, we're producing some medicine, so as long as we can treat everybody's disease, I think we're going to end up being just fine. It's just we are perpetually starving, like literally, for more food and water. So I am working really hard to increase that as best we can. The crops are certainly doing their job. As far as getting more food going, I think one of the best things we could probably do is just keep planting down more of these plantations. Plantations are certainly going to be very good for us. But where would I want to put them is the real question. Well, I guess we could put them behind the refinery for the time being. Is that fine? That's probably fine, right? Why can't I place this? Apparently that's still too close. Hang on. Yeah, we do something like this. Like an 8 by 16. And then maybe another one right here. Yeah. That increases how many farmers I need by a pretty substantial margin. Yes, that is true. However, once the trees have grown up, it's a pretty reliable amount of food per season. I think we will grow some more pecans, since I think I just decided that those are the most effective of all of them. And then once this is prepared, I don't know what we grow. Maybe more peaches or something. I'd rather deal with the long grow time. Well, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd like to have something that gets ready a little bit faster just because it frees us up. Want something that would grow pretty quick and still be okay. 270 food here sucks. 234 is just so much worse. 324 for cherries is okay. 360 for apples. I think we'll go for the apples. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at our labor. We do need a technician. Somebody is apparently died. That means we're not producing any more tools. Not that I need tools at the moment. I think we've been okay on that front, but even so, let's just be safe. We can reduce you. And what I think I want to do is actually just have 2 people per plantation, not necessarily just 1. Yeah. And do I want to reduce the number of people working in the fields to only 2? Do I think I can get away with that, or is 3 really necessary? It's hard to say. I do think that 15 farmers for the time being should be sufficient. Let's see. We're trying to produce a lot with gatherers. 15 water carriers is definitely producing a surplus, so we're okay there. More gatherers would definitely help with the immediate food situation, not just growing. I don't feel like I need as many herbalists as I have right now. I know we've had a fair bit, but we're producing plenty. What we need is more pharmaceuticals, and that has to be done at the medical facility. Nothing new I can do there. Still trying to store up some scrap. We've only got a few hours left. We were pretty darn close to what we were looking for. Can you guys produce just a little bit more scrap? Come on, get me up. God, what are you guys spending all this scrap on? I'm not even building anything right now. They're probably just repairing things, honestly. We may not be able to get this just because you really need to have a lot of people assigned, apparently, to get a tiny freaking amount of scrap. I've got 5 people gathering scrap. What are you all doing? It's not enough, it seems. It's just not enough. Let's go ahead and assign a couple more farmers. So these crops should be growing up pretty nicely. Yeah, sure enough, those have already been planted and are ready to go. Good. I don't think assigning another salvager does me any good at this point. Let's go ahead and start expanding some roads out a little bit. Partly to better access farms so that people are able to gather up the resources a little bit faster, but also partially so that people can quickly walk out to where I'm gathering up scrap. Just because, again, apparently they're taking too long. Too dang long. I don't know how much good that's going to do me, but whatever, we'll place it. Alright. Oh, we did complete the task. What do you know? Thank you for 30 more lumber and some tools. That does save me just a wee little bit of effort. Okay. So, again, if I can just get my food situation going, what I'd like to do now is go to community and set up a pub. The pub sounds pretty fun. Consumed by settlers to increase their confidence. I don't think that counts as food, even though it should be worth some sort of caloric intake, but there you go. Could place down a weather station. I haven't done this yet. Decide at which rain contamination levels fields, rain and stuff should be collected. We have no radiation here, and I'm still not convinced that anyone's doing anything. Storage space this building is running out. It's completely out. That's why you're supposed to move things to the water tower, you dingus. Yeah, I think a weather station would be a good thing to build just because, I mean, I've never done it before. So it sounds kind of fun. Yeah, way over here, we're going to build a freaking weather station. Boom. It's going to take a lot of resources, a lot of wood, a lot of scrap, some electronics, plastic, cloth, etc. I've got all of those currently handy without really too much issue, so that's fine. And if that helps protect us against radiation and stuff in the future, then that's okay. Looks to me like the disease has already been eradicated, so no big deal there. Starting to build up some more pharmaceuticals. Perfect. How are we doing as far as capacity for the cemetery? Fine, no big deal. Still have some more homeless pops at the moment. Some people who are hungry. Well, we've got food. You can go get it. I don't know what your excuse is exactly. But let's go ahead and set up some more housing. Just a little bit. Not trying to go too crazy, but we've got to keep building that population up. Just to keep on going. Keep building that up there. Let's see. How many seasons was it supposed to take for things? I think it was pecans was like 5.5 seasons and apples was 3. What is this? Okay, this is interesting. Oh, the radar station's already done. Oh, wow, that was really fast. That was way faster than I thought it would be. Okay. Well, whenever we get to high levels of radiation, we should probably go ahead and try shutting things down. Interestingly enough, it looks like we are about to get that. We're about to get to high levels of radiation, huh? What does that do? Does it just increase the odds that people get sick, or does it actually, like, irradiate the crops and kill the crops off? Like, is this going to shut down my food and water production and get me killed if I make this mistake? I don't know. These are all questions I have never been able to answer because I've never asked them before. Sue me. I'm figuring it out. We're going to try. We're going to see what happens. Maybe something, maybe nothing. But we're going to find out. Let's just go ahead and get some roads built out over here, just because I like having roads everywhere you go. Okay, this is all looking pretty solid so far. How are we doing in terms of, like, storage space? We are actually getting pretty close to capped in a couple of areas. This one in particular, mainly because it is so key for a lot of our industry. I do think I want to get another tailor. This is something we talked about doing before, and I still stand by it. I'm going to go ahead and place it over here, probably. Close-ish to the depository, so they can quickly gather materials and move them around. I just want to be able to produce more clothing. It looks to me like we're producing a pretty good amount of clothing, but I'd like to be able to get more. We'll move this over to activated carbon masks again, just because we can have some spare charcoal sitting around, so let's just go ahead and make the higher quality stuff, especially since I now know we have some high radiation coming down. It's probably one of the reasons the Earth radiation increased, actually, is because we had medium levels of radiation. I'm kind of wondering if it's actually going to increase up to medium once we get to high. That could be. Yeah, radiation is something that's a little bit nebulous to me as far as, like, just how impactful it actually is. But it seems pretty important to deal with. I want to upgrade this cistern, and probably before we get to the next drought, just so we can increase our levels of water production and storage, and also make sure that nothing irradiated is getting to us. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this cistern. I'm going to say that this is the next priority, if possible. Wow, we got a lot more people who turned adults. Oh, wait, no, we don't. We just have people stop being water carriers. Right, that would be a thing. Let's go ahead and just get some more farmers and gatherers in the meantime. Just go ahead and start gathering stuff up. Quickly build this tower, please. Quickly build this tower, please. Oh, people died. Okay. That's sad. We're still trying to cut down trees and stuff over here, apparently. Can we cut down a bit more? Let's say up over here. I'm trying not to intrude too much on this. Now we need to set you guys to cut and plant, since we've obviously planted down enough trees again. Okay, so they have something to do. Get that lumber production going a little bit. Scrap is surprisingly high, so we don't need this many salvagers. We do need more refiners, I think. Just go ahead and start turning that scrap into something useful. I'm thinking particularly cloth. Need a lot more of that going. We can pull back again on farming. Are you guys even working on this thing? I mean, really? Dismantle next. What are you guys working on? This is one of the things that's so frustrating to me, is it sometimes feels like the game just isn't very responsive as far as what I want them to do. I just saw people walk into the cistern. Maybe they have to empty it out first, and it's just not showing me that information. That could be. This is the high priority. Everyone build the water tower. Because we're starting to dwindle a little bit, but I only got a few more seasons before that's going to be a thing. One of the reasons I want to do this is what I'm wondering is if the cistern is connected to the rain collector. I know it's in range. And maybe because it has some level of radiation detected, they just weren't gathering from it. That wouldn't make any sense, though. Yeah, I just think water collectors are broken here. Well, no, I say that. Look, some water just went down. Right when I say that, what's happened? It just seems like no one is prioritizing working here. No one wants to work here for some reason. What is wrong with you? That's so much water that you could just be walking over to the water tower. But they're not. Why? Very confused on that point. I don't know. Maybe the devs happen to watch this series and they can answer that question for me. Just feels unresponsive. But I could be wrong. 100% I could be wrong. Yeah, this depository being full is a little bit unfortunate. People having to walk an extra distance just to drop things off in the depository. You can see that some of the food is irradiated, the corn in particular. Oh, we had a scrap task? I didn't even notice. Hey, good, the rain tower is done. All right. Let's pull back on some builders. Get these water collectors back up and running. 16, we only have a little bit longer until we have another drought. We will activate the filtration here. We almost have enough charcoal, but not quite enough. We should go ahead and activate one more char burner. Definitely feels like once you have a couple of tailors and stuff running that they are not producing quite enough charcoal to keep this up. I'm not sure we have enough charcoal just to keep the water towers going, to be honest. I just got an achievement. There goes a century, 50 out of 100. I've apparently survived 50 seasons. Mazel tov. Let's go ahead and grab some more wood over that direction. Just keep this building up. All right. Looking good, looking good, looking good. We're looking pretty fine on food all of a sudden, so it seems like rainwater or water collection is still the high priority. I'll pull back a couple of gatherers and just move these guys over here. Still doing fine on salvage. No issues there at all. So now that we're doing okay on food, what I think I will do is go ahead and set up a pub. Where do I want to place the pub? Good question. Right here. Yes. Right at the foot of the mountain, right here. Yes, it's a good place for a pub, I think. And what they'll do is they'll start gathering up either wheat or a couple of other things and start producing alcohol out of it. We'll take a look at our different options in just a moment. But for now, that should be pretty good. Still watching this water produce at a reasonable level. It seems to be still going up. Not quite fast enough for my tastes, but it is going up. Food's looking completely fine, not even showing us red anymore. 27 children, but only 69 working adults. I would say nice, but that's not enough working adults per child ratio for my tastes. That's a problem, and it's going down. Gosh dang it. Stop having babies and freaking let them grow up already. All right. So the pub mostly just needs to get rid of the irradiation at the moment. We do have another job for the pub keeper. Barkeeper, something like that. And the drought has begun. Okay. So now we pull off on the water collector by a bit. There's still some water sitting here in the rain collector. So is this going down? It is. Okay, so rain collectors are working. They are working. It just seems like maybe they are producing water far faster than it can be removed. Maybe because the rain, when it comes by, really is just that impactful? So maybe rain collectors are great, and it's just hard for me to tell. Hey, that's entirely possible, and I just wouldn't know. Let's go ahead and assign a couple more tailors going there. We need some more builders. Maybe some more refining and salvaging for a moment. And then the rest of you guys just go do your thing. Should be fine. Should be enough. Still collecting a few more trees here just because I want to build up my lumber stockpile. This should be enough water and food to get me through the drought. The droughts seem to come by pretty regularly. Like every, 7 to 10 seasons? Somewhere in there. We always seem to get a drought like clockwork. 2 droughts in a row would probably kill me. No way around that. How doing is like food production for like pecans and stuff? Nah, the dry soil has already killed off all my crops. Really nothing left there, unfortunately. Still got enough water. Here comes another freaking sandstorm. This one was a big one. Woo, boy. You should have to cover the rain collector during sandstorms or something. Imagine all the mud getting in there. That would be just horribly unfortunate. No one likes that. Capped out on scrap at the moment. Suppository still full. I wish there were more building upgrades. Just keep building up efficiency in some way, you know? more upgrades for our depositories or something like that. So you don't have to, like, just rebuild the entire freaking city to make it more efficient. The mounted bus, by the way, was done as of last episode, which is nice. I don't know exactly what it does. It's just a town center. Provides more space each time it's been upgraded. Each time? There's only one time that I'm aware of. But there you go. I mean, we got a nice little town center, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and assign ourselves a pub keeper. There it is. So in the pub, there's a few things you can do. You can manufacture ale, which takes 10 wheat and 10 water to turn into 10 beer. Given that water is such a valuable commodity, I'm not sure how smart that is. Joints, which turn hemp into something to be consumed. That's fun. And liquor, which takes a different ingredient entirely. Now, I don't know which one. I'm going to go ahead and swap to this because I don't want to use up water right now. Those look like cherries, but they're not. Pretty sure. Yeah, no, something different. I think this comes from the Gathering Hut. See that icon right there? I know that it kind of goes in the big category of food, but I sort of feel like the Gatherer's Hut gathers up whatever wild berries and stuff are needed. Or whatever ingredients it is, I don't know. Maybe it's freaking sarsaparilla. But just go ahead and make liquor out of that, I think. We can probably check this, actually, if we go to resources. Yeah, it is berries. We're making berry liquor. Okay. Yeah, no. This is good. Yeah, let's just keep producing berries then. And that will create my liquor, and we don't have to use up any water, but that should boost up the confidence just a little bit. Hey, look, water's gone. That means we need to go ahead and assign some more water carriers ASAP. Why do I feel like I should have had a lot more workers than this? We'll set F18 for now. We don't have anywhere near enough water. Rain collector is currently running out of water pretty quickly, but rain is on the way. Actually, rain is hitting us right now, so it's starting to build up in storage. I don't know. Maybe rain collectors are great. Maybe it's a good emergency storage for when you have a drought. Let me go ahead and build another one. I don't know. I really just don't know if it's worth it or not. But it might be awesome. And on the off chance it is, I think we should build them. There. That'll keep people busy, right? I'm pretty sure. I can just drop it off in the next water tower over here. Okay, so plenty of workers going on over here. We have water coming in again. We have food coming in again. Now that the drought is gone, we should see that our orchards are producing. Plantations should be worth an absolute ton of food for me. Look how pretty it is. I will say aesthetically, I find the game very pleasing. Reminiscent of things like Surviving the Aftermath, yes, but there you go. Now this is interesting. What we could do is start upgrading some housing to include tanks for water storage. I don't know why this would matter. Because it doesn't seem to me like it's unreasonable for people to just walk over to the water tower, but maybe it makes things more efficient overall. Now that said, we don't actually have enough housing as is. So maybe we should just go ahead and build something. We got plenty of plastic, and I think that's the only real change in cost, right? No, it does cost some extra lumber and scrap. It costs a fair bit more to have these kind of houses. But is it worth it? Mayhaps. You are slightly out of alignment. Glad I caught that. That would have driven me insane. We'll go ahead and build a couple, especially with water storage really far from the water towers. Because maybe these people don't want to walk all the way over here. We also need more housing. Basically, whenever I see we have like 6 people that need housing, I know it's my cue to probably go ahead and build a couple more. Looking fine on food all of a sudden, by the way. Very fine on food. The orchards appear to have made a big difference. Oh, and we've actually grown our adult population by a fairly substantial margin. Good. Let's get some more salvagers and refiners then. Got a couple spares sitting around to do other things. That's good. Could get some more tailors. We're actually looking okay on this. What we're lacking right now is pharmaceuticals. And I'm surprised we can't have more people working here in a medical facility. Only one person feels kind of insufficient. Like, we've got loads. Well, we actually don't have that many herbs anymore. What happened to our herbs? Oh, our herbalist disappeared. Okay, we need more herbalists. Yeah, one doctor able to produce medicine doesn't feel like enough for a building this big. I feel like we should be able to employ at least 2 or 3. At least, right? But apparently not. Still, I think we'll get enough herbs to make that all work. Still lacking in water, but I'm producing literally as much as I can, so it's just going to have to be good enough. Rain collectors are building up a good stockpile of extra water when the next drought comes around. That should be up to 2,000 extra water sitting around waiting to be gathered. What's my current objective? Freaking scrap. The game just wants me to gather up an absolute stinking ton of scrap. I don't know why they're so dang insistent on scrap, but okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and assign more people. Sure, why not? And another forester. Good, yeah. Once again, these guys are not harvesting at the right rates. I think we'll set one to plant and the other harvest and just kind of keep alternating between the two. We definitely have another outbreak of disease, which is just terrible because I don't have a whole load of medicine to go around. Not fast enough on the scrap. Really no surprises there. I do think we want to set up another depository, because at the moment we seem to be producing too much, and the more I keep increasing our scrap capacity, that sounds good until you realize this depository is so full that everyone else is becoming inefficient as a result. So to me that doesn't make sense. I'm going to go ahead and place one over here, and then hopefully as people gather up scrap, they can just drop it off here instead. I assume they don't have to go all the way to the scrapyard, do they? I don't think they do. I hope they don't. And if the refinery is full, then they can just drop it off over here as well. But anything to free up some more space, make everyone feel a little bit more efficient would be quite nice for me. The herbal hut is close to this depository, so when they get herbs, they should drop it off over here, which I'm hoping means that the medical facility doesn't have to walk a very long distance to get over here, but maybe. Now, a market is an essential building to distribute all of the resources across the settlement. How good is this really, though? Could be very, very good. Could be a total waste of my time. I have no idea. Like, you build in a location that covers, like, all the houses, which apparently is nowhere over here at the moment. I don't have any place to put this right now. I don't think we're going to end up building a market. So what I think you do normally... Do we see this here? Yeah, logistician. What these guys do is they actually go around just, like, dropping resources off so you don't have these depository issues. And people automatically have a full-time job just hauling stuff around so your producers can be more effective. But right now I can't fit a market anywhere. What is a scout? That's something I'd like to know. I don't think there are any jobs for that. Curious. Can we take a look at, let's say, some other big buildings like, let's say, the nuclear reactor? Can we find that? Is it over here? I think it's over here. Yep, there it is. Is there a scout option? Quests? Anything like that? An interesting location. Send a scout from an expedition post. What the crud is an expedition post? Am I missing something? I don't think so. I think this is something that still needs to be added into the game. Unless I am very much mistaken and there's another way to do this. It'd be interesting if perhaps, let's say, the mounted bus could do that. Inventory limits, turnover statistics. What's this? Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute. Oh, cool. We actually can see some basic statistics. Last season, 2 seasons ago, you get some idea of just how much every building produces. Okay, that's pretty good. Does strike me as pretty helpful. You take a look at this gathering hut and find out exactly what it's producing. On average, about 220 food per season. So if you really wanted to sit down, then we could use these statistics to figure out which buildings are the most efficient. Maybe gatherers' huts end up being more efficient than farms. We should be placing down a lot of these, in which case the game really does become banished. All you do is sit around placing huge forester areas. Make sure you have hunters assigned in that area, gatherers there, and then just go to town. Tons and tons of food for days. That could be exactly what you do. I don't know. As far as productions and stuff, what I want is more medics. I just need more medicine. We don't have enough herbs either. What's going on? The herbal hut should have plenty going on over here. What is your issue? We got plenty over here, too. Why don't you switch for a little bit, then? Charcoal burner is currently full. Okay. That's fine. Looks like we don't have any irradiated water that we need to worry about. We do, however, have a lot of people who are hungry, which, again, no good excuse for that because we have enough food. We've got plenty of it. Let's set up another depository over here. Just to give more people places to drop off their goods. I'm thinking of, let's say, maybe some hunters or some gatherers want to drop off food over here. And it's faster for these guys to just come on over and grab it. Could be helpful. Could be not. And build out the roads there as necessary, too. Yeah, I think getting a market is really what the game wants me to do at this point, but I don't have anywhere to place it. It's too big of a building. We'd have to get rid of something. Such as the batteries, move that elsewhere. Which, by the way, we're running a little bit low on storage, but I am hoping that it builds up enough per day. Should keep an eye on that one. What mission did I get? Increase population up to 130. Ugh, that feels like too much. But I've also said that in the past, and it ended up being just fine. Settlers without tools. Why? We've got tools. We've got plenty of tools. We've got 70 metal tools. Yeah, there's no good excuse for this either. People are just struggling, but we have the tools sitting around. They're right here. You can go and get a tool. I am not going to object to that. Go get a tool. Whatever. These are people complaining when there are totally solvable problems sitting around, staring them in the face. You're fine. You know what to do. We need to move this somewhere else. Let's go ahead and start clearing out some lumber in this area. And we'll move the gathering work area over, let's say, here, I guess. Seems fine. Okay, and I think that's about it. So, plenty of food coming in now. Not an issue at all. We can increase... No, we cannot. We cannot increase the number of people that are currently working on gathering water. But we're doing fine on that front as well. Number of children is not jumping up too much. We have 9 people who are currently homeless. Would love to give them some shelter. That's probably why we had some unhappy pops, but oh well. They're just going to have to live with that for a little bit longer. Power appears to be sort of barely hanging in there. The solar collector actually has some storage as well, but I think we're doing okay. We may want to disconnect at least a few things, like let's say these houses, since I don't think we really gain any benefit. So we'll go ahead and just disconnect them. I do still want places like the Herbal Hut and the Tailor activated. They're fine. Depositories shouldn't need any. Still have some more irradiated goods, but otherwise we're looking okay. And yeah, we are stable. No red across the board. Plenty of resources coming in. As long as we can produce enough cloth and stuff, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and set this to advanced carbon masks. And I think we have now officially hit a very self-sustaining point. It's just a matter of continuing to grow steadily, not too fast, and diversify our resources. If I could place down a market and have full-time logisticians, I think that would be the next logical step if we wanted to continue with this. But I'm willing to bet you that a market should be placed in a good central location so they can access as many of these buildings as possible. If I place a market down over here, for example, I'm betting you it only accesses these buildings here and doesn't do me a lot of good. So that would be useful for me in the future if I'm playing this again, to plan out my city more accordingly and place down a market so I can be very efficient. But we chose not to do that, and I think this is a good place to end this video and also just end this series. Again, the game releases as of April 2nd, so that should be today. You can take a look at the description down below if you're so interested. But I had a little bit of fun just playing out with a new game. Seems pretty promising. I'm going to be very curious to see where the devs do go in the future. Of course, the biggest thing is just to make sure I have as much information as possible to make a very informed decision as I continue. And then, yeah, I'm sorry for hitting on rain collectors as much as I did. They seem to be working okay. It's just, I don't know why they work sometimes and why they don't other times. But I don't know. Maybe they're the best thing ever, and I'm just a frickin' idiot. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the series. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.